Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today, we decode. A humanitarian worker stands alone in a dimly lit room, the air thick with unspoken dread. A stack of documents lies on a sterile table, each page whispering secrets of a world in chaos. The silence is punctuated only by the faint hum of a fluorescent light, illuminating the stark contrast between altruism and betrayal. The complex psyche of an individual whose noble intentions spiraled into moral ambiguity. A case study unfolds, a humanitarian worker, once an emblem of hope, now enmeshed in the shadows of a crisis zone. The subject, a seasoned aid worker, was known for compassion, for bridging gaps where despair bred hopelessness. Yet, in the heart of the turmoil, an inexplicable deviation from this altruistic path emerged. The forensic environment reveals a pattern, a series of decisions, each seemingly innocuous, each a step deeper into a moral quagmire. First, isolation, a common precursor to behavioral deviation. The subject found themselves ensconced in a war-torn landscape, surrounded by suffering, yet cut off from the familiar moral frameworks that once guided their actions. With each passing day, the weight of their responsibilities grew heavier, and the boundaries of ethical conduct began to blur. Next, the stressors, chaos, urgency, and the relentless pressure to deliver aid at any cost. In such environments, the mind can fracture. The individual rationalized choices as survival tactics. The psychological state shifted from altruism to utilitarianism, where the end justified the means. Their descent culminated in an act that defied the very principles they once championed. An antisocial profile began to emerge, an individual torn between the desire to help and an overwhelming urge to take control, to exert power in an otherwise powerless world. The biological evidence of stress manifested, revealing cognitive dissonance, a chasm between intention and action. As we peel back the layers of this complex narrative, we confront a haunting question. Can one remain a savior while also becoming a perpetrator? The case concludes not with clarity, but with a deeper understanding of the human condition, an exploration of the altruist's dilemma. Prepare to journey into the psyche of a mind unraveling in the crucible of crisis. The room is sterile, white walls, fluorescent lights flickering like distant stars. The air is heavy with the scent of antiseptic, a grim reminder of the past. The enigma of altruism intertwined with malevolence. Outside, the landscape is bleak. War-torn structures jut from the earth like broken teeth, remnants of a community once vibrant. Craters mar the ground, each a testament to the chaos that erupted from human conflict. Dust hangs in the air, a tangible silence that suffocates hope. Inside the room, documents lie scattered, each page a fragment of a life unraveled. The subject sits in the corner, a figure shrouded in shadows. Their gaze is distant, lost in memories that swirl like the dust outside. They were once a worker, a humanitarian, bearing the weight of a community's suffering on their shoulders. But as the landscape crumbled, so did their resolve. The altruist's dilemma took root, twisting motivations into something unrecognizable. In the clinical examination of their behavior, we observe a gradual deviation. Initial acts of kindness morph into desperate measures. What began as food distribution soon transformed into manipulation, a means to an end. Each decision, once rooted in compassion, now tinged with a self-serving undercurrent. The line between savior and perpetrator blurs, an unsettling dichotomy echoing through their psyche. Consider the psychological analogy of a seed planted in nutrient-poor soil. Initially, it seeks sunlight, striving for growth. Yet, as resources dwindle and despair sets in, it adapts. It becomes parasitic, feeding off the very environment that nurtured it. Similarly, this individual, amidst the devastation, found themselves ensnared in a web of conflicting desires. The need to aid turned into a need to control. The documents reveal a chilling transformation. Initial reports depict altruistic actions, distributing aid, volunteering in shelters. Gradually, the accounts shift. Beneficiaries speak of coercion, of aid tied to loyalty, of trust eroded. Each testimony forms a thread in the tapestry of their psychological unraveling. In this somber case, we peel back layers of the human psyche. The altruist, once a beacon of hope, becomes entangled in a moral quagmire. The question lingers, can one still be seen as a savior when their actions reflect shadows of self-interest? And so we confront the complexities of the individual's motivations. The mystery seed has taken root, flourishing in the ruins of their once noble intent. The journey into the depths of the altruist's dilemma has only just begun. Shadows flicker across the sterile walls of the observation room. A single bulb hums overhead, casting an unyielding light on the documents strewn across the metal table. Here lies a paradox, a conundrum of altruism and moral dissonance. Can one be a hero and a villain? The question lingers like the faint echo of footsteps in the silence. The air feels thick, almost suffocating, as we delve into the mind of the subject. We are not merely examining actions, we are dissecting the very fabric of human intent. In this controlled environment, each document tells a story. Psychological evaluations, behavioral analyses, and biological evidence converge, painting a portrait of a complex individual, a humanitarian by choice, yet a criminal by circumstance. The room, clinical and cold, holds the weight of this duality, the altruist's dilemma. As we sift through the data, we uncover layers of cognitive dissonance. Altruism begins as a noble impulse, a call to serve others. Yet what happens when that impulse is tainted by desperation? Here, the lines blur. The subject, once a beacon of hope, spirals into a realm where good intentions yield unintended consequences. Step by step, we trace the path of deviation. It starts with a singular event, a moment of clarity distorted by external pressures. The desire to help morphs into a compulsion, driving the individual to act outside the bounds of legality. Each decision becomes a thread in a tapestry of moral ambiguity. In this psychological landscape, we encounter the phenomenon of ethical erosion. The subject rationalizes their actions, constructing a narrative that aligns self-interest with a distorted form of altruism. I am saving lives, they convince themselves, as they tread deeper into a gray area where the distinction between savior and sinner fades. A familiar unease settles in as we ponder the crux of their motivation. What drives a person to the brink of crime? Is it the weight of societal expectations, the gnawing fear of impotence in the face of suffering? We search for answers, yet the questions only multiply. The room stands as a testament to this inner turmoil, a space where morality and depravity coalesce. Each document, each analysis serves as a reminder. The human psyche is not a binary construct. It is a labyrinth, rich with contradictions, where the hero and villain coexist in a fragile balance. As we prepare to conclude this exploration, the somber reality emerges. Altruism, when twisted by desperation, can become a bridge to unforeseen consequences. The psychological bridge is not merely a pathway, it is a chasm, beckoning us to confront the darkness within. The air is thick, charged with a silence that engulfs the sterile room. Documents, meticulously arranged, lie before us, each a fragment of a complex puzzle. The altruist's dilemma, an exploration into the intricate web of motivations that drive seemingly benevolent individuals to commit acts that defy societal norms. What compels a person to oscillate between the roles of savior and transgressor? The cold, clinical atmosphere is palpable. A flickering fluorescent light casts shadows, distorting the papers that catalog behaviors, patterns, and psychological profiles. Each sheet bears the weight of theories and findings, a testament to the duality of human nature. We delve into the realm of altruism and the darker undercurrents that often accompany it. Cognitive dissonance looms large, a psychological state where conflicting beliefs breed unease. Picture a subject, an individual ensnared in a moral quandary. They engage in acts of charity, yet simultaneously harbor intentions that diverge from societal ethics. This dissonance can manifest as a defense mechanism, allowing the individual to reconcile their actions through rationalization. The mind crafts narratives. I am helping, therefore I am justified. Expert insights reveal a chilling truth. Moral disengagement operates as a psychological shield, enabling individuals to detach from the repercussions of their actions. The individual may invoke euphemisms, framing their behaviors in terms that obscure the reality of their consequences. This distancing creates a chasm, erasing the emotional weight of their decisions. In this mental landscape, empathy is dulled, replaced by a skewed perception of righteousness. As we analyze the forensic evidence, a pattern emerges. The subject's background reveals a tapestry of influences, upbringing, societal pressures, and vicarious experiences that shape their worldview. The act of altruism becomes a facade, a mask worn to obscure the underlying antisocial profile. The juxtaposition of good and evil is not merely philosophical. It is a lived reality, played out in the quiet corners of the human psyche. The meticulous examination of behavioral theories unveils a chilling paradox. The altruist, often revered, may harbor a darkness that contradicts their public persona. This exploration does not seek to vilify, but to understand. We stand at the precipice of human motivation, peering into the abyss of moral complexity. The subject's journey through altruism and transgression becomes a narrative thread, weaving together the fabric of human experience. In the quiet aftermath, we are left with a haunting question. Can true altruism exist without the specter of moral conflict? The answer, it seems, lies buried deep within the folds of the human mind. The room is sterile, cold. Documents lie scattered, each a testament to the human condition. The intricacies of the altruist's dilemma through the lens of the global perspective. The silence is heavy, punctuated only by the soft rustle of papers. Here, in this clinical environment, the moral weight of humanitarian work hangs palpably in the air. Each subject analyzed reveals a distinct psychological profile, yet they all wear the same mask, crafted not from material, but from societal expectation. In the global arena, the pressures are immense. Altruism, often romanticized, can morph into a paradox. Beneath the surface, individuals grapple with the weight of their actions, their motivations obscured by the need to conform. The mask they wear conceals not only their intentions, but also their vulnerabilities. Consider the subject who embarks on a humanitarian mission. Driven by noble ideals, yet confronted with a complex reality, they find themselves at a crossroads. The decisions they make ripple outward, affecting not just themselves, but entire communities. Each choice, every act of kindness or neglect, is influenced by the heavy mantle of expectation. The mask becomes a barrier, distorting perception. It shields the altruist from the harsh truths of their actions, creating a facade that can justify morally ambiguous decisions. The individual may convince themselves that the ends justify the means, yet this rationalization often leads to a deeper moral quandary. Are they truly helping, or are they perpetuating a cycle of dependency? As we delve deeper, the psychological implications reveal themselves. The altruist's dilemma is not merely a personal struggle. It echoes globally. Societal norms dictate behavior, blurring the lines between virtue and vice. In this intricate web, the mask worn by the humanitarian may morph into a distortion of self. The consequences are profound. Every act of compassion, when viewed through the lens of the mask, raises questions of authenticity. Are we witnessing true altruism or a performance shaped by external pressures? The global perspective unveils a disquieting truth. The altruist's path is fraught with moral ambiguity, compelling individuals to confront their own humanity. In this somber examination, we discern the universal nature of the dilemma. The mask, though worn by many, reveals the singularity of the internal struggle. Each choice made in the name of altruism reshapes the narrative, challenging the very essence of what it means to be humane. The air hangs heavy with the weight of unanswered questions. The intricacies of the altruist's dilemma, a paradox where the desire to help intertwines with the potential for harm. The room is dimly lit, fluorescent lights flickering overhead. Files are strewn across a sterile table, each document a fragment of the chaotic puzzle we aim to piece together. The silence is palpable, broken only by the quiet hum of machinery in the background. Each page turned reveals a new layer, a new contradiction in the subject's actions. As we delve into the mind of the individual at the center of this case, we uncover a complex web of motivations. The subject, once hailed as a paragon of altruism, exhibited behaviors that defy simple categorization. Their actions, while initially portrayed as benevolent, devolved into a series of ethically ambiguous choices. In examining the subject's behavioral deviation, we draw parallels to classic psychological theories. The duality of altruism and self-interest is reflected in the subject's actions. Every act of charity laced with an underlying need for validation, a desire to be seen as a savior. This internal conflict, reminiscent of the cognitive dissonance theory, illustrates how deeply ingrained psychological needs can warp perceptions of right and wrong. In our forensic analysis, biological evidence documents the physiological responses tied to altruistic behavior. Neurotransmitters like oxytocin, often dubbed the bonding hormone, may have spurred a heightened sense of empathy. Yet, within the same breath, We observe the shadow of antisocial profiles, where empathy devolves into manipulation, exploiting trust for personal gain. The of this case does not yield a clear resolution, but rather a deeper understanding of the human psyche. The subject's journey into moral ambiguity serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities that reside within us all. They were not merely an altruist nor a transgressor, but a reflection of our shared struggle, a dance between selflessness and selfishness. As we draw the curtain on this investigation, we invite you to reflect on the intricate tapestry of human nature. Each individual carries the potential for both light and shadow. This case underscores the importance of introspection, urging us to confront the darker corners of our motivations. Join us next time for another exploration into the depths of psychological phenomena. Subscribe to unravel more mysteries, where each episode beckons a deeper understanding of the human condition.